This is PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube.
Hello and welcome to PSN Newsrun. I am Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada our top stories. IPMAN hikes petrol price nationwide from Monday over Dangote supply shift. Lagos hosts Africa's first electric powerboat race, others traffic diversions. On the foreign scene, history made as Sarah Mullally becomes first female Archbishop of Canterbury. And on business, UBA boosts Pan-African expansion, Reassures shareholders on dividends. And from the sport world, stoppage time, penalty seals, Flying Eagles 3-2 win over Saudi Arabia. Stay with us for details. As from Monday, Nigerians will pay more for petrol as IPMAN raises pump prices nationwide, citing supply change from the Dangote refinery. Here's the report. From Monday, Nigerians will pay more for petrol as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, announced a nationwide price hike, citing supply realignments linked to the Dangote refinery. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association says the adjustment follows Dangote Refinery's recent changes in its pricing template, which has forced marketers to raise pump prices across the country. Industry sources report that the refinery, now the major local supplier, recently adjusted its ex-depot rates after complaints from all unions and international pricing fluctuations. The hike, according to IPMAN, was unavoidable to keep stations running and maintain distribution across Nigeria. Fuel scarcity has already started re-emerging in some states, with long queues spotted in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Transporters warn that higher fuel costs could trigger fare increases, deepening inflation pressures for households and businesses. The federal government has yet to announce any intervention, but analysts say Nigeria's heavy reliance on a single refinery and import exposure makes pump prices highly vulnerable. As Nigerians brace for the new cost from Monday, attention now shifts to how the government and Dangote refinery will balance supply, affordability, and economic stability in the months ahead. Niger State is warning residents in flood-prone areas to relocate as water will be released from Shirero and Jeba dams, raising fears of flooding downstream. Here's Marianne with the details.
The Niger State government is urging residents in flood-prone areas to relocate immediately as authorities prepare to release excess water from two major dams. The warning follows rising water levels at the Shirero and Jeba Dam, which experts fear could trigger floodings across riverine communities. The state government says the controlled release is necessary to protect the integrity of the dams, but communities downstream may face serious risks. In a public advisory, officials urge families to move to higher grounds and comply with the evacuation plans already put in place by local councils. Emergency agencies have also been placed on standby for rapid response. Nigeria has recorded deadly floods in recent years, with the 2022 disasters displacing over 1 million people nationwide. Authorities say proactive measures like these relocation orders are vital to preventing another humanitarian crisis. The government says its priority is safeguarding lives, and it will continue to monitor the water levels closely as the dam release begins. Marianne Awia, PS News.
Nigeria is battling two deadly outbreaks, cholera and Lassa fever, with nearly 400 lives lost in just 9 months, according to the NCDC. Daniel Falding this report.
Nigeria is grappling with a deadly surge in cholera and Lassa fever, with official records showing nearly 400 lives lost in just 9 months. According to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, cholera outbreaks have hit several states, fueled by poor sanitation, unsafe water, and heavy rains. Meanwhile, Lassa fever continues to spread in rural communities where contact with infected rats remain high. Health officials say both diseases combined have claimed close to 400 lives, exposing gaps in healthcare response and community awareness. The NCDC is ramping up surveillance, rapid response teams, and public sensitization to contain further spread. The agency is also urging Nigerians to maintain proper hygiene, boil water before use, and report symptoms early for treatment. With rising cases linked to climate change and weak infrastructure, the health system faces mounting pressure. Experts warn that without urgent intervention and stronger preventive measures, Nigeria risks facing more frequent and deadly outbreaks in the coming months. Reporting for PS News, Daniel Okejeme.
Workers at Adekunle Adjacent University are threatening a strike as salary arrears and unpaid allowances push SANU to the brink. Students fear classes could be disrupted again. Tosi is here with details.
Tension is rising at Adekunle Adjacent University, Akungba Akoko, as non-academic staff threaten to down tools over unpaid salaries and allowances. The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, at AAUA says members are being owed several months of salary arrears, hazard allowances, and other entitlements. The union accuses the Ondo State government and the university management of neglect, warning that patience has run out. Union leaders stress that despite repeated appeals, promises have not been kept, leaving staff unable to meet basic needs. They argue that continued neglect not only undermines workers' welfare, but also disrupts the smooth running of the university system. SANU has issued an ultimatum, threatening to embark on an indefinite strike if their demands are not met. Students and parents are already expressing concern, fearing that another round of industrial action could once again halt academic activities on campus. With no resolution in sight, the looming strike adds to the wider unrest in Nigeria's education sector, where salary disputes remain a recurring crisis. Reporting for PS News, Oluwatosin Deba.
In Abuja, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is promising to end years of darkness, warning saboteurs and vowing to deliver stable power to the nation's capital. Here's the report.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is taking on Abuja's persistent power crisis, vowing to end sabotage and ensure reliable electricity for residents. Abuja, despite being Nigeria's capital, has long faced erratic power supply, with residents and businesses forced to rely heavily on generators. Complaints have grown louder in recent months, with many blaming vandalism, weak infrastructure, and suspected internal sabotage within the system. Speaking in Abuja, Minister Wike declared that enough is enough. He warned saboteurs that the government would not tolerate deliberate attempts to keep the capital in darkness, pledging to work with security agencies and utility companies to identify culprits and fix supply gaps. Wike stressed that reliable power is not just about comfort, but about driving Abuja's economic and social life. He assured residents that new measures will be rolled out to guarantee steady supply, promising that the era of excuses is over. For millions living in the capital, the promise raises hope that Abuja may finally break free from years of chronic blackouts.
Lagos is set to make history with Africa's first electric powerboat race. But the landmark event comes with traffic diversions as authorities roll out safety and control measures. Let's hear Marianne for details.
In Lagos State, authorities are announcing traffic diversion as the city prepares to host Africa's first ever electric powerboat race this weekend. The event, which will take place along the Lagos Lagoon, is part of a global push for sustainable sports and clean energy. Officials say it will showcase Nigeria as a hub for green innovation while drawing international attention to Lagos as a sporting destination. The Lagos state government says the diversion will affect routes leading to the lagoon waterfront, with alternative roads already designated. Security agencies, last-man officers, and traffic wardens have been deployed to manage flow and reduce congestion during the race. Organizers note that the Powerboat competition is not just about sports, but also about promoting renewable energy and environmental awareness, especially as Lagos battles with the effect of pollution and climate change. As excitement builds, residents are urged to comply with the traffic guidelines, with Lagos positioning itself as the launchpad for Africa's green sporting future. Marianne Awiya, PS News.
And now on business, United Bank for Africa is stepping up its Pan-African growth drive while promising shareholders steady dividends. Tosi is on the business desk.
United Bank for Africa is reinforcing its Pan-African expansion strategy while assuring investors of sustained dividend returns. At its latest briefing, UBA highlighted strong performance across subsidiaries in 20 African countries, where it continues to grow market share in retail, corporate, and digital banking. The bank says this expansion is central to its mission of being Africa's global bank, connecting the continent to international markets through its presence in London, Paris, New York, and Dubai. Chairman Tony Ilumelu reaffirmed UBA's commitment to consistent dividend payouts, stressing that shareholders remain at the heart of the bank's growth strategy. He pointed to improved earnings, robust balance sheets, and digital innovation as proof that UBA is well positioned to keep rewarding investors. UBA also restated its focus on financing Africa's development through critical sectors like infrastructure, energy, and trade, while leveraging technology to expand financial inclusion. With its Pan-African footprint and global reach, UBA says its growth drive will continue to deliver value both to shareholders and to Africa's economic future. Reporting for PS News, Oluwatosin Deba.
On the foreign scene, history was made in the Church of England today as Sarah Mullally became the first woman appointed Archbishop of Canterbury, ending over 1,000 years of male leadership. Here are the details.
For the first time in its 1,400-year history, the Church of England has appointed a woman, Sarah Mullally, as Archbishop of Canterbury, a landmark move breaking centuries of male leadership. Dame Sarah Mullally, 63, currently the Bishop of London and former Chief Nursing Officer of England, has been selected as the 106th Archbishop of Canterbury. Her appointment was approved this Friday by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and King Charles III. Mullally will formally take office in January at Canterbury Cathedral in a ceremony followed by an enthronement. Her ascension is seen as a transformative step for the Church, especially by advocates for gender equality within religious leadership. But it also comes amid challenges, internal divisions over same-sex marriage, decade of abuse, scandals, declining attendance, and calls for reform across Anglican Communion. Mullally is known for her leadership both in healthcare and in the Church, emphasizing compassion, service, healing, and listening. Her background includes years as England's Chief Nursing Officer and work as a nurse. Her appointment as Archbishop of Canterbury marks not just a personal milestone for Mullally, but a turning point for the Church of England, ushering in hope for many that its leadership can reflect wider societal change.
Still on the foreign scene, China's new K visa for foreign STEM workers is drawing backlash at home as young graduates fear more competition in an already tough job market. Let's hear Tosi on this report.
China's new unveiled K visa program has triggered widespread anger as young Chinese fear the influx of foreign STEM workers could squeeze them out of an already tight job market. The K visa, effective October 1st, 2025, is aimed at attracting young foreign professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics without employer sponsorship. Designed to make China more competitive in global tech, The visa allows more flexibility for eligible applicants, but the policy has sparked immediate backlash, with China facing nearly 19% youth unemployment. Many citizens have taken to social media questioning why foreign graduates are being invited when local STEM graduates already struggle with job scarcity. Some comments reflect nationalist concerns, especially regarding applicants from India and other countries with past tensions. Critics also point to unclear eligibility criteria, fears of wage suppression, and concerns that the policy might disproportionately benefit foreigners and overseas Chinese at the expense of those educated domestically. Meanwhile, state media and government editorial responses describe the backlash as driven by misunderstanding and urge that the visa is needed to fill critical talent gaps in AI, biotech, and high-end research. China says the K visa is part of its long-term strategy to lead in global tech growth. For now, the success of the program may hinge not just on attracting talent, but managing domestic expectations and the concerns of its own graduates. Reporting for PS News, Oluwatosin Deba.
And on sports, Flying Eagles keep their Under-20 World Cup hopes alive with a dramatic stoppage time win over Saudi Arabia, while Super Eagles striker Victor Boniface misses out on Nigeria's World Cup qualifiers.
Eagles pulled off
Sports correspondent Samuel Akman takes it from here.
World Cup in Chile, with Daniel Bamiu's stoppage time penalty sealing the win. Nasiru Salihu opened scoring early on before Saudi Arabia leveled, but Amos Ochoche restored Nigerians' lead with a superb strike. Saudi Arabia equalized again in the second half, only for Bamiu to convert a decisive penalty deep into stoppage time. The result keeps the Flying Eagles in contention to qualify for Group F ahead of their final clash against Colombia on October 6. Now to the World Cup qualifiers. Victor Boniface has once again been left out of Nigerian Super Eagles squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Head coach Eric Chell named 23 players for the matches, but the Werder Bremen striker was excluded following a precautionary rest by his club due to a minor foot knock. Despite his strong club form with 32 goals and 12 assists in 61 games, Boniface has yet to score for Nigeria, raising questions about his role in the national team. Nigeria, currently third in their group, will face Lesotho on October 10th in South Africa before hosting Benin Republic on October 14 in Uyo. This is Samuel Akman for PS News.
And that's our package on PSN Newsrun. I am Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada. Good evening.
You just watched PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube. This is your trusted voice for news that matters. Subscribe, like, share, and stay informed.